Welcome back to WEC Icons, where today we're here at Peugeot TotalEnergies with their beautiful 9X8. There's been a few different iterations of this car here in the WEC and plenty for us to learn. So let's go see what the team have to say. Olivier, welcome to WEC Icons. Thank you for joining us. And first things first, can you introduce yourself and tell me what it is that you do for Peugeot?
My name is Olivier Jansonnie. I'm technical director and team principal for Team Peugeot TotalEnergies in FIA World Endurance Championship.
And first things first, you got to also introduce me to this car. What is her name?
That's the Peugeot 9X8. It's a four-wheel drive hybrid hypercar that is matching the LMH technical regulation.
And when did this car, in its original iteration, first enter the WEC?
That exact car we have here actually joined the championship first time in Imola last year, so a bit more than a year ago. Before that car, we had another version of that car, which was quite different visually, without the wing especially, which has been designed in 2021 and starting racing in 2022.
And of course, the one thing that everybody wants to know, talk to me about the engine in this car.
So this car is featuring a V6 turbocharged engine. It's a 2.6 litre engine. So basically, obviously the power is limited by the regulation, but we believe it should be over 580 kilowatts possible, which is more than 800 horsepower. We don't run it at this power, obviously, we run it much lower. We're limited by the 520 kilowatts of the LMH regulation.
And obviously you guys didn't just build a fast car, you built a Peugeot. And what elements of this car do you think look like a Peugeot? What show the brand?
I think it was very important for us to display some of the DNA of the brand from the very start. So it was a very clear joint effort between our design teams and the aero people in our staff. One of the things that is quite let's say, showing quite a lot of the brand DNA are the headlights of the car. Something we worked on very hard. So we had two targets there. First, obviously, supplying the right amount of lighting to the driver so they can drive during the night on the track, on the track like here, for instance. But also displaying some of the DNA of the brand with the clothes, the three clothes we have, which you can find on our road cars as well.
And of course, we've had a few different liveries on this car over the years, a few special ones. But with this current iteration, what are some special little bits about it that maybe people might not have noticed otherwise?
Well, I mean, if you look carefully, you would see there's a lion head on the car, there's a lion on the side, which is very obviously emblematic of the brand. That's something that you don't see first time unless you look carefully. But I think it's quite well done actually.
Now let's talk a little bit about the aero choices on this car. Can you talk me through a few of them, the differences?
Yeah, it's a typical LMH car. You got three important parts of the car. There's a front splitter, generating most of the front downforce. So what you would see underneath the car. Then there's the floor, the middle section, that is generating the most stable part of the downforce. And then finally at the rear wing now.
Yes.
The diffuser and then the rear wing working together with the engine cover to generate the rear downforce.
And when it went from having, no rear wing to having a rear wing, how much did that change everything else you had to do with the aero?
It changed quite a lot in the end. It was at the same time we changed the tire dimensions on the car, so we had to rebalance the car aerodynamically. Now we're running similar tires as our competitor, which was a bit different from what we had initially. And we had to rebalance the car and obviously change a bit the split of downforce generation between the underfloor and the rear wing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the things going on inside of here. Can you tell me firstly what the brakes are and what they're made of?
So the brakes are carbon brakes, front and rear, different sizes. The fronts are a bit bigger. The braking is ensured as well at the front using the electric motor that we have at the front. So the electric motor is pushing the car over 190 kph, but it's also braking it at every speed. So it's actually a big contributor to the braking system. And the rest of the brakes is standard hydraulic brakes with carbon fiber discs and pads.
And I think, given your team name, it's very much worth us mentioning. What fuel does this car use?
It's running the TotalEnergies Xelium fuel, which is a renewable fuel that we run on this car since 2023. It's a new spec of fuel, so we had to adapt a little bit the engine and the car and the combustion system of the engine to make it work.
Yeah. Well, how about we take a look inside the cockpit, if that's all right? Okay.
There you can have a closer look at the inside of the car. The steering wheel is based on the same steering wheel as we had so many other cars. It's a special development on the same basis with all the push buttons, the modes that you can activate in the car, which is quite complex.
So if you could talk me through the steering wheel that you've got in the 9X8.
Well, it's a fairly standard layout actually. What makes it a bit special is the distribution of the mapping behind it. So we have 4 main rotary here where you can actually activate the most important functions of the car. Some of them are, let's say, torque control on the engine, engine mode, strategy as well, which is setting the let's say the energy consumption strategy, and then finally this is the brake balance. So those are the main functions that the driver is touching all the time, and for the rest you would access to the other mappings showing the knobs that he has on the sides. So it's quite a lot.
My head hurts just trying to think about what they have to do there. That's incredible. And for someone like Malte, who's sort of newer to the team, a bit younger, there must be a lot to learn for a driver to get their head around how to use this.
The drivers are practicing on a simulator. They are mostly getting used to all the systems, all the procedures, and also all the maps.
And what other things can you point out to me within the cockpit that we're currently looking at?
What's very important is taking quite a lot of place in the cockpit is what we call the ERS tunnel. In that tunnel is all the hybrid system. The battery is underneath the fuel tank on our car, but the rest of the system, and including all the computer and what we call the CU, computing unit, is inside this tunnel here.
And the one thing I do have to ask about, because I think it's unique to Le Mans, is the mobile phone currently sat in there.
That's correct. That's unique to Le Mans. The purpose of it is in case we have failure on the car on track, and there's no way to reach the driver anymore with the radio. The driver has to go out of the car, for instance. Then he can use his mobile phone to contact us.
Is the number written on the back, or do they have to learn the number?
Well, I mean, they have just have 2 or 3, let's say, emergency button on the phone. Then they will call directly the people on the pitfall.
That's incredible.
And we can also call them.
And of course, you've done the very Peugeot thing of having the little green loops on the seatbelt buckles.
Correct.
I think that's actually unique to you guys. I've not seen them like that before. Is that to help with securing the drivers in safely?
Exactly. I think every team is actually working on these things to try to ensure that you can have a very quick driver change and that the belts can go in and out very quickly. And you would see also important, our car is featuring an air conditioning system inside the cockpit, so the driver is actually cooled down when he drives, which is very useful. Not necessarily today, but
maybe not today. Yeah.
But it could happen during some races at least. And you can see at the bottom there's a big vent that the drivers can orientate, which is creating airflow. And
now my favourite question: what's your favourite part of this car?
My favourite part, and I show it to you already, are the headlights for that reason, because it's actually quite emblematic of what we've been doing. Trying to always keep the technical side of the parts. It's a very important component for safety, but for driving, but technically, but also it's something that shows quite well the DNA of the brand.
Olivier, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next episode of WEC Icons.